my goodness. And there it is. Wow, get the pin to go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to BowlTV for the 2021 PWBA BowlTV Classic. The Stepladder Finals are going to be coming up in just a moment from the ITRC in Arlington, Texas. My name is Aaron Smith with BowlTV, and we are so excited to be able to bring you this historic championship round. Before we get into the lineup, we're going to get to the lanes real quick as they wrap up practice, and then we're going to bring in our Dynamite broadcast crew to call the action here today. So you're going to see the practice session here for our opening match, wrapping up in a couple minutes. Jordan Richard against Birgit Norreichs. The winner will face Briana Cote. The winner of that will face Verity Crawley in the semifinal, and then 17-year-old sensation Jillian Martin, the top overall seed, waiting in the championship match. First and foremost, I'm going to bring in Dave Lamont, who's going to be bringing us the action throughout the course of the event. Dave, welcome back to BowlTV and the PWBA.
I could not be happier to be with you all again, and especially considering who I'm working with also, someone I've had the pleasure to share microphones with, and can't wait to talk to Kelly Kulick in a moment. But Aaron, you've got an unbelievable finish to what's been a week-long celebration of women's bowling, and we're seeing different champions, different opportunities, both at the regional level and at the national level, and it's been a spectacular week you've had at the ITRC.
It's been super fun to watch it all come together. The BowlTV Classic, the final event of this 8-day run. And with that, let's bring her in, the Hall of Famer, Kelly Kulick. Kelly, hello.
Hi, gentlemen. Thank you for bringing me into this telecast again tonight. Aaron, pleasure working with you a few nights ago. Dave Lamont, excited to be your Kickstarter here back here in the ITRC Center. As you said, we're celebrating women's bowling. It's been a long 8 days. My body is feeling all 8 of them right now. Had some success on the lanes myself, and we have an exciting show tonight. Just as you said, Jillian Martin making a remarkable run, leading by over 200 pins. Birgit, Verity, Jordan, and Briana also making multiple telecasts here, the second time for many of them. And, it was such a demanding condition, and I'll elaborate that more as the show goes on. But excited to see that, a 180 game might win here, or 190 game might win a match here, even the title match for sure. We had some high scores, some low scores, and a lot of head shakes. So, well, it's interesting to see how these 4 games progress and who's going to come out our winner.
Well, I'll tell you, the one person who can really benefit from all of this is Verity Crawley. Should she win this event, she takes over the points lead. That has been her best season she's ever had as a pro, Kelly. What is different about her this year that she's been a winner and a constant contender?
Something along the lines during the break of COVID forced her to practice more visually and mentally, and that break for her just kind of clarified everything in better pictures. When she was able to travel and come over to the States, she went right back to the roots that got her started, and that was back at Weber International University, where she was working with John Janowitz, the lane guru, as well. Some great staff members there who's worked with her physical game. But being in that environment is always a positive for her, and she's really perfected her craft. I have to say, of all the bowlers right now, she is the best executionist right now on tour, and in every pattern we've bowled on, she simply duplicates shot after shot and has some good advice from the ball reps along the way, and just is making the pictures come crystal clear faster than anyone else out there.
What about this first match we have here? We've got Birgit Norreichs, who's coming off of a good performance in the mixed doubles, and Jordan Richard, a young star out of Ohio who's already been on BowlTV finals before. What are you looking for here?
Well, there's a commonality amongst all 5 competitors tonight. That's ball speed and rev rate. Most of the ladies have a very high rev rate and high ball speed, so it doesn't slow down fast enough on this very demanding condition. Birgit just won her first individual title just a few days ago, so she's on a high. She's got great confidence. And Jordan making multiple telecasts, she has a slight advantage because, again, higher rev rate, more ball speed. Ball doesn't see a lot of the friction. It'll be a close match. We saw a lot of high scores the first game, and then game 2, they transitioned quickly, and the scores dipped right back down again.
Aaron, we are ready for this. This is going to be a tremendous cap-off to your week.
It really is. Excited to see this 5-player stepladder final determine our final champion of the week. And folks, this is going to be our final call to head over to BowlTV.com. If you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, this sneak peek here is going to come to a close as this match gets underway. So you have to go over to BowlTV.com. We're going to have 3 giveaways of bowling balls from Gold Industry Partners, Brunswick, Rotogrip, and Storm, but you can only pick it up at BowlTV. So we hope to see you folks over there. And if you're on BowlTV.com, we're going to take a quick reset. We're going to be back for the start of this match. The finals of the BowlTV Classic coming up next, right here on BowlTV.
Just a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, pick your favorite player this evening, cheer her on. How about a great send-off for our opening match of the PWBA BowlTV Classic? Good luck, ladies.
All right, our first shot on this 41-foot pattern, and Kelly will get into the specifics of it here in a moment. It's Birgit Norrijks, and she starts off by wiping out the 10-pin, as she should. Well, Kelly, you talked a little bit already about the pattern and the demanding conditions. What are we looking at here?
Well, the women bowled on a 41-foot pattern this week, but when you look at the graph itself, the forward oil only goes 28 feet, and it's buffed to that 41-foot distance. So really, half the lane is only forward oil. Not much is dragged down. It's very flat across the middle, caused the women to get very steep through the front and have wide angles that you most often don't see out on the ladies' tour. They often keep it in front of them. That's why, again, I feel the women with a higher rev rate and definitely firm ball speed had an advantage by not having to have such steep angles.
And Jordan Richard will have a chance at the 9-pin after her first shot.
41 feet, you typically want to start, it's a medium condition, so you usually can start anywhere based on your style of play and the ball you're using. But majority of the women had to start around 13, 14, and again, just keep chasing it further and further inside. We only had one lefty, Ashley Rucker, that made it through the field, and she scored very, very well on her side by herself.
We are at the International Training and Research Center in Arlington, Texas, USBC headquarters, and a perfect place for this event. And Jordan Richard will pick up the spare. In her 3rd season on tours, looking for her 3rd career title. She won in Greater Harrisburg in 2018, and then 2019, the PWBA Lincoln Open on Team USA, past PWBA Rookie of the Year, and has a 2nd and a 3rd so far this year in BowlTV Stepladder finishes.
In the last 2 shows, Dave, the women who've been on the bottom really ran the stepladder, so it's possible we'll see that again in tonight's telecast. Going to go high.
It did. Fortunately, it's a manageable, although never a friendly split at 3, not a split, but a leave at 3-6-10.
Yeah, sliding about 26, 18 through the hours. Majority of the heavy-handed women, and I say that meaning higher rev rate, of course, would be able to get the ball to 6, 7, 8, Jillian especially, and be able to have the ball recovered down lane. So it allowed for more miss to the right. You had to miss outward. There was no chance of missing in and praying for the ball to hold. The misses had to be down the lane and to the right in order to control the pocket.
These two have met, by the way, in stepladder finals before at the Go Bowling Classic. Norrijks beat Richard 225 to 196. So maybe a chance for Jordan to do something about it, but she is without a strike in the first 2 frames.
My thought process for today, Dave, was 9 is good. 9 is very, very good. I've said it before, but as the combination spares started to come, they became challenging again because of drastic change in the dryness in the front part of the lane, that your 3-6-10 spare became a challenge to shoot at.
A great look at the pin action that Norrijks opens with a double with.
Yeah, not to overshadow or overtalk too much, but if you could catch these strike shots, you know, we talk about the flush shots, the trip fours. This is, I call it kind of the shaker shot. Yeah, if you could carry those lighter hits, you excelled very quickly and you won the matches. And what's different about this one compared to the last two, this was all head-to-head match play. So something the women haven't seen in a while, and looking forward to seeing at the U.S. Open again, is winning your match gave you those 30 extra bonus pins. So I mean, Jillian Martin averaged so well, of course, but having won, I think 20 out of 24 matches, 30 times 20, that's a huge advantage.
That's an unbelievable record considering the depth of the field to win 20 out of 24 times.
Yeah. And I'm sure her losses didn't come at a very, distant score. I'm sure they were all close. Birgit right there, she's in that 13-14 zone. There's why I said right at the hash mark, about 8. That one high trip 4, so she's got both pockets now. She's got the light shakers and the trip shots.
And she hasn't missed yet. And Jordan looking for her first strike.
I have to mention Diana Zavialova sitting in the background.
Yes.
She bowled really, really great this week. And unfortunately, the last block was not her best, just missing out on the show by 1 pin only. She really bowled phenomenal all weekend long, and just missing out by 1 pin. Briana Cote went around both of them in the last match. Ooh.
Well, she's gone now through the face a couple of times, Kelly. What is she missing on?
Well, if you're watching her ball motion, it's never slowing down. So it's continuing after it gets the end of the pattern. Often enough, the tour reps would say, let's go to a stronger ball, something that's going to slow down the middle more and not be so responsive down lane. So we're looking for a slower ball motion. Right now, it's too quick off the spot, too angular, like that hockey stick reaction. She needs something that's a little bit more controllable, or the opposite is to keep going further and further left, create more steepness, and see if she plays the recovery in the back.
She's going to take an open frame with that one. So a bit of a slow start for Jordan through 3 frames, still looking for strike number 1, while Norikes is perfect through 3. Standing by to take on the winner of this match is the number 3 seed, Briana Cote, who's having another nice season. She's picked up another career title, so she's got 2 of them. And she likes this building. She has won in this building before, Briana, so she'll be a formidable opponent for whomever walks out of this match with a W.
Yeah, I have to chalk that up maybe to her Team USA experience, being in here practicing and having our camps along the years, going home and practicing full-time back in Arizona. Her game has really developed over time.
Now that's the right track there for Jordan, and she needed that very badly. And Norikes this is her 4th show. She won the Go Bowling Classic, as we mentioned, 4th in Nashville, lost to Verity Crawley, and 3rd of the Greater Cleveland Open, and lost to Briana Cote. So we're seeing a lot of familiar faces making these step ladders, folks who have been on before. So there shouldn't be any nerves or any more extra nerves, let's put it that way, under the lights, because this group is experienced with it, except for Jillian Martin, the number 1 seed.
Another good shot by Birgit. Oh, stone 9.
Kelly, why are we seeing so many stone 9s these days?
Well, again, Dave, the pattern splatter, the bowling balls, the reactive resin, they're just so much angular off the spot, meaning that quick response that we look for. And we see a lot of continuation. The ball technically always says the ball hits 4 pins, the 1, the 3, the 5, and the 9. And with so much ball motion through the end of the pattern, only being 41 feet, 19 feet to the pocket, there's so much continuation. So again, the ball is not going to be rolling forward as it's going to continue hooking, and that's why it just skates by the 9 pin.
So clean through 4 is Birgit, and with a good lead on Richard early, but Jordan is off of a strike in her 4th frame.
I think of all the women competing tonight, we'll see Jillian the deepest, meaning starting farther left and sliding even deeper than anyone else. She's got a uniqueness with her style of game that she has a high rev rate, high ball speed. She generates a lot with her legs, and why she's the number 1 seed, because she's just that good and able to create so much area. Birgit more direct through the front, and as you mentioned, Dave, through the telecast, we see a lot of repeats on similar patterns. So all the women are bowling good every time we see the same similar pattern.
And just to add, in case folks don't know, Jillian Martin, our number 1 seed, is 17 years old.
Great shot by Birgit. Same part of the lane. Excellent. 13-8. High flush shot. All 10 straight back. Her husband.
So Jordan Richard now knows what she's up against. Yeah, she's got to string a few here. or this match may get away from her.
Her goal was to make the show because she didn't want to change her flight. It was a fiasco. Wondering when they could get out. 8 days was a long stretch, Dave. I have to say, I'm happy to be going home tomorrow. Better shot by Jordan.
That's her best looking one, and she does have a double. Well, you're at Dallas Airport. You could get out of you can go anywhere in Dallas Airport.
Oh, sure. But to enlighten the viewers, okay, so there were 24 women bowling in this event, head-to-head match play. It took 5.5 hours to bowl 8 games.
Ooh.
Same courtesy, double jump courtesy,
Mm-hmm.
but the length of time, and then again, as the pattern got harder and harder as the evening and afternoons went on, you were bowling 2 shots a frame. Last night, by the 8th game, there were women walking off the approach, scratching their head. I was drawing the big question mark in the middle of the air, like, I keep going left. I can't get the ball to skid. There were a lot of questionable motions last night, and hence 5.5 hours to bowl 8 games. So we were in this building a minimum of 12 to 13 hours yesterday. It's got a shot.
Oh, there it is again.
Oh, it falls late.
There we go.
Yep.
About time somebody got a break.
I don't even. Oh, the little neck of the pin behind, heavy rollover. I didn't get one of those. I'm just going to say it. Hate to personalize it, but that never happened to me.
Well, not this tournament anyway.
No. We had a lot of 7-10s, a lot of stone 8 pins. You know, Dave, you commented about the 9 pin, but multiple women left stone 8 pins. So just head scratching. Make the slash and the spare and move on. It's got a push. 4 pin. So even though Birgit's ball is continuing, you want to notice the shape. See how it's smooth? It's not so much angular. There's almost like a suction zone back there, just kind of gradually bringing the ball to the pocket. And that's when we talk about a slower response. That's what the women were looking for, really, because you had to get so steep.
And one thing that it sounds like, Kelly, everyone's had a lot of practice at spare shooting, and that's going to be so important tonight.
You said it.
And absolutely no fear on that shot.
Yeah, I witnessed even the women that are credible spare shooters. You know, Liz Johnson said she never missed a single pin. Birgit's excellent. Saw her missed a few single pins. The 6-10 was a choppable spare this week. 3-6-10, again, as the lanes dried out. Normally it would skid and it would hook in the middle part of the lane. You know, and there was, again, no signifying breaks of, trip a 4 pin. No, it was 4-6-7.
Wow.
Some bad breaks along the way, yeah.
Very good. Her 5th season on tour from Germany.
Looks good.
Well, she flushed that. Absolutely gorgeous shot.
She's in the driver's seat right now. Jordan's way behind. She, as you said, Dave, she's working on a 3-bagger. See if she can continue on and try to catch up here in this first opening match.
She may be forced almost to go completely off the sheet.
I can't say there were many high scores, but there were a good handful.
And Julia Bond, I think, had the lone 300 of the group, your reigning USBC Queens champion.
Yeah, when she shot that game number 1, I said, what is she bowling on? Where's that shot I'm missing out on? Great shot by Jordan.
Who is starting to come back a little bit here.
Yeah.
That's 4 in a row. Jordan averaged just a hair under 208 to earn the number 5 seed, 13 and 11 in match play. You talked about Diana Zavialova missing by a pin. Jordan didn't help. Left an 8 pin on her first delivery of the 10th, made the spare, and then struck on the fill ball.
Yeah, and Diana's first shot in the 10th frame, she wiggled the 7 pin. It wasn't a shaker shot. It was high flush, and the 4 pin just touched it and wrapped itself around it to leave the 7 standing.
Gotta go.
Leaves the bucket. Just a little wide right there, about 2 boards right at the arrows. Not enough to get the ball back. Leaves the 2, 4, 5, 8. Jordan's got such a strong game. I mean, just she balances and leverages every shot. Her hand is so clean through the ball. Nice balance arm out to the side. Fluidity with her legs and rhythm.
And
Very
handles.
nice game.
Yeah, that's a very tough shot, especially in these circumstances, or a miss could have been fatal. We mentioned Julia started this Summer Classic Series as the #1 ranked bowler for the points for PWBA Player of the Year, but she's not on this show. And the way things have worked out, there is a chance that she'll be supplanted by Verity Crawley. If not a chance, if Verity wins, she will be #1. Uh-oh. Greek Church.
That one, of all the execution, that one just looked a little bit slower with her speed. Right there, sliding 23, 24. She's a little bit left. She's about 13, 14, slightly inside. And you can see the ball just checked really, really hard at the end of the pattern. So 41 feet. We're looking at that last hash marker. That's the 40 to 43 zone. Roughly around that indicator at that distance is where you're going to see the ball really start to change in direction towards the 1-3 pocket.
Well, she took a bold effort at it, but this match has changed around completely.
Each woman with just one open frame, but as you said, Dave, at the wrong time can drastically change how the scoring outcome will be determined.
Oh, yeah, you think about it. Jordan, okay, that was the 3rd frame, and she was well down at that time, but those 4 straight strikes and then converting that bucket really may end up turning this match around. Norik's now desperately. Now she's the one who really, really needs to put 10 in the pit here.
That needs help.
Almost got it.
Almost.
Thought that something might have leaned on that 7 to drive it down, but not the case.
Yeah, I see her body motion at the end, kind of just sliding and popping up at the bottom of it. So kind of fanned her hand off to the right. And she was able, witnessing the other show the other night, she was able to do the same thing. She could get it right, and the ball would just tip up enough to come back and hit the 1-3 pocket. 7-pin lead, cross lane for the spare. She knows the lanes. Based on what our tour rep saw throughout the week, 9 and 10, often enough, all the odd lanes hooked more, except for lane 9. It had a bit of tightness down the lane, whereas now 10 hooked more than the left lane. So Jordan's going to finish. She has a max score of 228. Birgit 215, so Jordan can just basically walk away with this first match if she goes off the sheet.
And certainly didn't start that way. It was Birgit Norik's who hit 3 in a row, and Jordan didn't strike until the 4th and had an open frame in the 3rd. But the 4 straight strikes in the middle part of this match and of course the Greek Church left by Birgit has made this a dramatic change in favor of Richard. And that doesn't hurt at all.
You hear the tour. Good shot, JoJo. Even there were some matches won with crossovers. I'm sure we might see a few of those this evening. That was a great execution by Jordan. Bucket last time on this lane, so we'll see what happens.
If she can shut it out this match with a strike and a 9 count.
Mm-hmm.
You see Birgit talking to Chuck Gardner. Corner there, getting a couple of last-second tips, but at the moment, she has no control over the outcome of this match.
That needs help.
Oh, yeah, she stood straight up. Boy, Kelly, if there's ever a universal tip-off that a bowler hates his or her shot, it's that standing straight up.
Yeah, I mean, 9 times out of 10, if you post a shot, you're going to be within an inch and a half of your target on either side, and that's usually enough to get to the pocket. So anytime you see it, and the approaches, the staff here is fantastic at the ITRC. You know, Lou Marquez and Nick, they go above and beyond just to make sure things are great. Lanes are oiled, same time every day. But just with the different heels, the different soles, the dust just from outside, it makes for, you know, some offshot shots. Makes the baby split, though. That's a big spare right there.
Yeah, her max is now 208.
You thought she missed it, too.
Now, Birgit can take this with a double. And a couple of scattered pins on the side, but Jordan had the opportunity to close this match out with a strike to open to the 10th and couldn't quite get it done.
Six count on the fill. Ooh. That was typical. It was typical.
204 and now a double. Not even necessary. A strike and a spare would take care of business.
She Greek church last time. 4 pin to 1 shot, 7 pin another shot. Only 1 strike on this right lane.
That was a long time ago.
Big move off the Greek church.
Wow, what a great move and a tremendous shot. Clutch, overcame any trouble she had with this lane before, Kelly.
Yeah. So as you said, Dave, 9 spare will win it. Strike will just secure it up no matter what.
Yep. This was an interesting match. It looks like at one point early up, this is going to be Norike. She's got it. Whoops, wait a minute. Nope, Jordan's got it. And now we're back to where Birgit has the control.
I've learned a long time ago, Dave, you know, when you're looking at the 6th frame, like, oh, I'm ahead by 40, no trouble to go. And next thing you know, open, 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 and the next person throws 3 at you right in a row. So anything can happen. And multiple times in 10th frames where you think you just need 9 spare, super washout, or big 4. That's how demanding it was to bowl in this pattern. Does the 7 fall? No, it doesn't. Needs to make the spare.
Yes, she does. Otherwise, we have a tie.
When Birgit talks herself, it's in German, so nobody can understand what she's saying and what's going through that mind of hers.
Well, that's an advantage that some of the foreign-born players have. That you know, everybody knows the American curse words, even overseas.
Well, I raised my eyebrow. Huh? She's yelling at herself or complimenting herself, one or the other.
And that wraps it up. Well, Jordan Richard got in by 1 pin. She gets knocked out by 1 pin. As Birgit Norikes picks up the 205 to 204 win. Kelly expected these to possibly be low-scoring contests and spare shooting making the difference, and it certainly was in our opening match with Norikes picking up the win, and now moving into Briana Cote for our next match, 4 versus 3 in this 5-woman stepladder. We're going to talk to Jordan here for a moment or two when we get she gets her gear packed up and ready to go. And then we've got something special for you all who are watching. A Storm bowling ball giveaway is a part of our evening here. So let's see if we can get in a couple of questions with Jordan first. 205, 204, the final. And from a fan's perspective, you want every match to come down to the 10th frame. And this one came down to the last ball.
Got Jordan waiting in the sidelines here. She'll be popping.
All right, Jordan, can you hear us?
I can.
Oh, there you are. Hey, now we can see you. Jordan, I was telling Kelly, this seemed like a match. Well, Birgit's looking good. She's got it all. No, wait a minute. Jordan's got this match because you got hot in the middle, and then we all know what happened at the end. What happened on your final shot, your fill shot?
Threw it right off my hand. Unfortunately, all my misses were left this week, and when had to throw it right. I didn't want it to hook through. I didn't want it to roll out where I got 6. So I threw the first one in the 10th bad, got the 310, made it, and then threw it bad again. So live and learn, got 6. It's nothing I can really do now.
Jordan, which show was harder, this one or the first one you bowled earlier in the week? Obviously been here multiple days, and there's been a lot of stress, both mentally and physically. But any differences? Which show do you think was the most challenging?
Probably this one. I feel like the first couple games, all 3 blocks weren't very good until I could get a little bit further left where I was more comfortable. So it's kind of what I was battling right now. We tried a couple balls. I didn't really feel comfortable with them, so we stuck with the one ball that I've thrown the entire time. And, I got hot during the middle, but fortunately I made some pretty bad shots at the end.
What are you looking forward to on your break now? I know you're not going to be bowling Spokane. You're going to take that week off. There was a conflict there or something along the way. So you have an extra week off compared to the ladies. Going into the Open, is this a new confidence for you? What are you looking forward to at bowling in Rohnert Park, California?
I feel better. This entire summer has been the absolute roller coaster. I've missed more cuts this summer than I have in my career, and it's been tough. But I'm learning what I'm going through. So I think this week we figured out a lot with equipment that made me a lot more comfortable in transition, which is where I really struggle. And so I think we're on the right path to success. I made 2 shows here. I bowled good in the second event, but I'm really happy with the way that I competed this week.
Jordan, one last question for you. How do you see these lanes breaking down as the night goes on?
They're going to get tricky. Everybody's going to have to move left. All 3 blocks, I think we moved left quicker and quicker and quicker. And although this is only a couple games and there's only 5 girls, they're going to blow open just like they did. And everybody's just going to have to move further left just like normal.
Well, congratulations on your week. 2 shows is a tremendous achievement. Thank you for taking the time, and enjoy your break.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Jordan Richard joining us here. We're getting very close to match 3 seed, Briana Cote versus Birgit Norrijks. But Aaron, it's time for the Price is Right with Aaron Smith. Or in this case, the ball is right.
That's right, Dave. I like the sound of that, and we'll go full screen here for that as well. Folks, we're going to have our first giveaway of the day, a Storm bowling ball of your choice. So a big thank you to Storm, a gold industry partner here for the PWBA Tour. You're going to look for a prompt in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. It's going to say a giveaway will begin soon. It's going to count down for 60 seconds, and then in that same spot right after, it's going to say the giveaway has begun. There's going to be a submit entry button. All you have to do is click that, and you will be on your way to potentially winning a Storm bowling ball of your choice. One lucky winner is going to take it home. And we do note that if you're watching in full screen mode, please take it out for a quick second. Make sure you can see the chat and all the folks in there. So we'll get that started here in just a moment after this. How about after this next shot from... Actually, we'll get with the first shot of the match. So once the match gets underway, you should see that prompt in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. So good luck, everybody, and thanks again for watching us on BowlTV.
All right, Aaron, thank you, and good luck to all of you who are trying to win that wonderful prize. Kelly, we're going to see Briana Cote tonight, another person, and we talked a little bit, hinted at this already, that there are certain bowlers that are making multiple appearances this year on BowlTV, and Briana Cote is one of them. She's already picking up the victory here during the Kickoff Classic Series of the ITRC. 2 titles in her career. She's bowled well all season.
Yeah, she has, Dave. She's really bowled great. And to make the valid point, she shot 268 the last game. She was bowling against Diana Zavialova with the bonus pins, leaped her not only from 6th into 5th, but 6th to 3rd. So a huge leap for her there. She rolls 14-pound equipment, a little bit higher RG bowling ball. So again, she doesn't have to get so far left as everybody else. Firm ball speed, and again, she's just riding the wave from her win back here in January to her success along the way throughout the season, and now 2 shows here in the last 4 days.
Ringing 10 here for Norrijks.
Yeah, that 6-pin just went from vertical to horizontal, wrapped itself right around. I don't know which was worse, the ring 10 leave or the flat 10. It didn't know
What
which
is
one.
worse?
I think the ring 10.
Okay,
ring
because
10.
you think you've made a great shot and you got cheated?
Yeah, the flat 10, the ball deflects, goes to the right, doesn't have enough energy to go through the pins. The ring 10, it's still continuing, takes the 6-pin at such an angle that it just horizontally wraps itself around the 10. So by far a more frustrating leave.
All right. So here is Briana out of Tucson, Arizona. She picked up in 2015 when the tour resumed. 2016, I remember PWBA Lexington Open being on that call, as a matter of fact, for her first title.
Yeah, you know who she beat?
Gosh.
Yeah, I don't know. Some girl, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll think of it. It wasn't
Yeah.
Carolyn. It'll come to me.
Yeah, there were a lot of women who won their first title against me. That's okay. She's a great bowler, an asset to our company and everything. And she doesn't, I love her attitude. She never gives up. She's got that never quit theory, mindset, always going. And case in point, the last game when she did shoot that 268, she went to the paddock, she picked the ball, hadn't thrown it really during the week. She said, let's go big or go home. And she went pretty big.
Well, you know what? You can't keep beating your head against the wall. You've got to change tactics at some point. The ultimate story I always think of, Kelly, when I think of successful tactics changes, you go back to tennis and Bjorn Borg at Wimbledon. He was not a serve and volley player, and he realized, if I don't do something, I am never going to win this tournament. And he won 4 or 5 in a row by changing his game.
Yeah, it's in our game. It's more, mentally thinking, because you don't want to play defense. You're always trying to play offense. You're always trying to attack the lane with your ability and your A game at all times. So that's what your mindset is always going to be, to the point where you say, hey, Birgit's catching those shaker strikes. Other people are doing it too. Maybe if I go another 2 boards left, come up a little bit lighter, I'll start to carry those hits as well. So you're constantly strategizing what to do next, what to amplify the amount of error you have in order to have the most amount of success. Norm Duke's words, find the most room of error with the positive as best outcome.
Yeah, it's worked out well for Norm. So.
Birgit's gone deeper now.
Well, it was a good-looking shot and another ringing 10.
Yep, ball just doesn't want to slow down. Still continuing through the pocket, right? She's 16, 15 at the arrows. She's able to get it to 8. The ball comes back out, and that's 6-pin. Wow, it's just so visually to see it, even in slow motion, just makes you want to put your head down and say, why?
Yeah, it's upsetting. I'm still amazed at the number of stone 9s I've noticed. I mean, ringing 10s is the stone 9 seems to be a new disease that we need to take care of somehow. Now, a couple spares on ringing 10s for Norikes. She defeated Jordan Richard 205-204 in our opening match. You're listening to Hall of Famer Kelly Kulick. I'm Dave Lamont, and this is BowlTV coverage of the BowlTV Classic on a 41-foot pattern. This is the middle of our stepladder. Standing by the number 2 seed, Verity Crawley, and the number 1 seed is the 17-year-old who's been a sensation in this event. And you're not going to want to miss her, because Jillian Martin has been absolutely remarkable to get to where she is.
Little wide right. Birgit looking for the first X of her game. 9 spare strike for Birgit. She gets herself back in this match. Again, 14 at the arrows. Little further right. 7, 8 down lane. 6-pin still goes horizontal, but just enough to tap out that 10 at the last moment. We felt the women, Dave, by game. So 8 game blocks by game 7, 8. We felt it was almost like a U.S. Open pattern, with so deep, just sliding in the other gutter, starting on the opposite lane. I put X's on the approach just to mark 45 and 50, because we needed that many boards to count.
No, all well in Briana Cote's world right now.
Yeah, you can see that green little swirl on the ball. That's her thumb hole. So again, more tilt, more rotation, and then it just starts to stand up and roll forward at the right time. She's off to the early lead with a turkey, first 3 frames.
Briana 13 and 11 in match play at the BowlTV Classic and averaged almost 209 to earn the number 3 seed. She's already been on a Summer Classic Series show, her 4th BowlTV appearance this season.
So it's the most events the women have had in many years. The PWBA, USBC, BPAA, again, responsible for having 20 events this year. So more ways for the women to make money, more opportunities, more non-members to come out and experience this tour. And Briana catches the 4-bagger. That's that shaker shot. The pins don't go back. They fall to the side.
It's the old expression from the late Billy Whaley, hit him thin, watch him spin.
Yep. Or hit them light and pray with all your might. I'll take either one.
Yeah, as long as you're not standing up when you go back to pick up your next shot.
I should have had a step counter to see how many times, because I threw so many. The women we threw so many second deliveries for spares. I'm sure we usually walked a few miles each day. That needs help.
Oh, through the face, and she is fortunate.
Yeah, she's 17, 18 at the hours, where she's been roughly around 14, 15, just not getting it far right. And you expect those shots. It's not a perfect game. No one's perfect. Every now and then there's going to be that little pull from the top of the swing and the miss inward or outward.
And Cote's not making it any easier on him, hitting the front 4. But Birgit is clean through 4, not making any big mistakes. She fought off a late Greek church in the 8th frame that tilted the match Jordan Richards' way. Jordan actually had the opportunity in the 10th that she gone strike spare, but she didn't. And instead, Birgit, particularly thankful to Jordan Richards for a poor count on her fill ball, only 6. And that allowed Birgit to go strike spare for the win.
Birgit's success the other night, too, I believe, in all 3 games she bowled. She only had 1 open frame, and it was a pocket 7-10. She did an excellent job of finding a way to get 9 every single time. Occasionally, I think she had 1 multiple pin spare that she converted. Only 1 open frame in 3 games in her last telecast, and right now she just has the 1 open frame from game number 1.
No, she seems to have figured out. She just buried 10 straight back.
Really clean front to back. Her angles are great through the front. She's able to have the ball clear and get clean down the lane. But as this pattern changes with the multiple bowlers, you'll see some definitely different shapes going down the lane.
Well, that ball, Kelly, it looked good for a little while, but it just seemed to lack a little energy.
Yeah, same spot of the lane. Looked really good. You can see, again, the green thumb stands and rolls forward much, much quicker. So her and Birgit are both in the same part of the lane. A lot of traction is developing. She's got to have to make the move. And again, there's that indicator. There was no indication where normally it'd be a trip 4 on a lesser difficult pattern, whereas this one, 6-7, big 4. There was no indication of when you had to make that move, and it wasn't just a 2-1. It was about a 3-1 or a 4-1, again, to create that steepness.
Ooh, made a bold effort for that split. So what's her next move that you would recommend then?
Off that shot, because they're both in the same part of the lane, she's going to move left. She's going to go at least 3-1. And now, to be cautious, Jordan was playing around 17 inside of Birgit, so she's going to start moving into more traction. So therefore, that 3-1, if it doesn't work, she's going to have to go probably a 6-2 or even a 7-2, which is big for her and bold for her. Probably with her style, she's not going to have to move as much. But the move with the feet have to be larger than the move with the target. That's the only way you create the hold, is by creating that larger angle through the front portion of the lane.
So Birgit, chance to get back in this now off of the open frame, but Cote still has a shot in the 6th to reset herself. Well, it's a natural adjustment, I guess, Kelly. If you go through the face one time, there is a tendency to bail out a little bit.
There is. It's most often it's physical. You don't want to miss in front of you, so you tend to get a little bit more left to right with the swing. And again, the move there, it's basically, Dave, what the women have done. So Birgit started at 13. So you take those first 13 boards out of play. So now the track is building up closer to the head pin, and that's going to create so much more traffic, so much more inconsistency as the ball is traveling down the lane. Therefore, that's why the women, instead of moving left, they would move a zone and a half left to create more hold down the lane.
See if you can fly that head pin over. Nope, and left 2 out there. So back-to-back open frames for Briana Cote, slowing her down and opening a door up here for Norikes. Standing by, Verity Crawley, one of the hottest bowlers in the world at the moment. Oh, look out. Okay.
Yeah, that was a big move by Birgit. If you watch where she laid the ball down, she's 25, but that, again, 17. So where she's sliding, 25, her laydown point's going to be roughly 20, 19, somewhere around there, only through 17. It's only a 2-board angle. So I think she can keep the target the same, but probably go another 3 left with her feet.
So are we getting a microcosm here of what you all had to deal with?
Oh, yeah. Inevitably. There was just... Again, no indication, no trip forward pin, no light forward pin along the way, and it just had to keep on moving. You couldn't creep. And then the unfortunate part where the building is sound, but pair to pair and lane to lane, they play so differently. I said all the odd lanes hook more, the right lanes were often tighter. 1 and 2 was in play all week long. 1 was very much tight down lane, but 2 hooked more in the body. So as you're moving to the pair, you'll watch all the women keeping in their journals or notes of where they stood, what ball they used, because it was so crucial to have that information when you went back to that same pair again to say, well, on lane 1, I was standing on 35, but on lane 2, I was standing 40. You needed to know that.
It's funny when people ask me about announcing bowling and I start explaining some of the things, the laymen are blown away by the fact that every lane can be different.
Mm-hmm.
They can't believe that. They think it's a completely uniform. They go, no, not even close. Oh, big. Boy.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of splits that were there for the blink of an eye, and then they're all gone.
Yeah. It's, again, Birgit, she's dangling on that line of disaster right there. That easily could have been the 4-7-10. Again, I'm watching where her sliding is. She's 25, 26. So, again, the 6-board spread for most professionals, sometimes even 5. Their laydown point is going to be 20, 19. You see 17 go into the arrows in about 12, 11 that time compared where she's been able to get it back from 7, 8.
Well, that's a tremendous improvement for Briana. She's had 7 frames now without a spare, 5 strikes and 2 opens.
Yeah, she's still at 13. Watch the ball. See as it's going down the lane, and it's taking a long time for it to stand up and roll forward. So as she's moving left, but now going through that traction, that ball is picking up on that traction and starting to roll out faster. It's starting what they say is burning up. If she's going to continue to hold the pocket, you might see a ball change possibly depending on how far ahead or how far behind she is. But often enough, the move was to go to a stronger asymmetric core, something that reads the mid lane a little bit more. You might have to go further left with your feet. But again, allow the ball to read more of the mid lane and shape up sooner rather than have that late tip up in the back.
Well, we have dueling re-racks. And as you can see, just 5 pins in favor of Cote right now as we round the quarter pole and head for home.
Needs help. High flush.
Hey, boy, that is some real resiliency because after a couple of opens like that, you could have easily folded it, and she did not.
It's a good shot by Briana.
So Norikes must follow.
She strikes only down by 5. Close-knit match.
Will it be as close as the one that Norikes won? Because you can't win by any less margin than 1, beating Jordan Richard. On deck, Verity Crawley.
I don't think there were any ties in match play over the course of the 2 days.
It snapped into the pocket and then through the face, actually, leaving a 6-10.
Yeah, she knows it. Dave, she's done everything. The last 3 shots have been exactly the same, and she's not moving. So that concerns me. Foot sliding the same spot, balls going at the arrow, same spot, expecting a different result. Maybe she's changed her hand position or throw it harder. I'm not really sure. I don't think she's been doing that. This is just, she's late to the game. She just needs to move.
All right. Trying to keep Briana from running off these last few frames.
She knows it too. Went through the face carry. Was high the last time, both on the right lane. You know, again, she needs to. Don't want to sound like that broken record player. I know I said it before in past shows, but just go. Don't wait. Go. Move 4. Can see her thinking about it too right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm expecting a different outcome where she's going to slide further left. The ball's going to be close to the same part of the lane at the arrows. Not enough.
Well, that
looks like she tried to. She's still sliding. Actually, it looks like she went a bit further right.
Mm-hmm.
Got it further right faster. So instead of 17, she's about 15, 16. And just devastating with the outcome. I know Aaron commented too. He saw a lot of interesting leaves. 4 counts, 5 counts, bucket with the 7 pin. Unusual, uncommon leaves because of the demandingness of the pattern itself.
Well, you said it on the pregame show that we may see winners in the 190s, 180s. That it wouldn't be at all surprising given the conditions. And something else you brought up yourself. You talked about your own experience that you bowled a lot of games and tournament pressure, other TV shows, great competition. There's got to be a little bit, even if you're juiced about being in this particular step ladder, you got to be a little bit tired.
A little is an understatement. Yeah, no, it's true, Dave. You're hitting the nail right on the head. Like I said, 5.5 hours to bowl 8-game block. So minimum, you have to work out a ball. You have to do surface prep. You're in the building for 14 hours out of the day. Count the 8 hours sleep you have, your normal routine. It's a great shot by Briana right there on lane 10. Let's see if she can carry that momentum to lane 9. And I mean, again, we're just, you walk out, do you want to eat dinner or are you too tired to eat dinner? Do you take the shower to try to rest the muscles? So it's more physical. And I think too with the women, like right now you would think about your opponent. But right now, I'm worried so much of what the picture is and what the puzzle is in front of me, that if I can master that puzzle and put all the pieces together, my opponent never comes into my mind at all.
And Cote in commanding position here to move on to face Crawley. All right.
Oh.
That'll take care of it.
Kicks out the 7, Messenger runs across to knock out the 10.
And knock out Birgit Norikes as well.
Watch this. Messenger off the sideboard. 4-pin falls late to take out the 7. Great feeling right there. Makes up for all those 9 pins and 8 pins, Dave.
Well, she is going to, depending on, actually, this shot doesn't really matter anymore, but she has won this game without a spare.
Yeah.
She has had 8 strikes, and then the 5th and 6th were the open frames. And the other thing is Birgit didn't strike often enough, Kelly. She only has 3 strikes through the first 9.
Yeah, I think she used them all up the first game. And it was typical. You think you're an expert. You really know your craft. You know your game. You know your play and everything. Game 1, the scores were relatively high for a lot of the women. Game 2, they started breaking down. They started transitioning. You think you go to a stronger bowling ball and just go left and circle it more. But the middles being as flat as they were made that so challenging. You wanted the ball to read, but then it would read too soon. So then you move, and then it would go too long. You were constantly playing with the shapes and distances of where the ball was starting to slow down. And again, it sometimes you wish the lane was 10 feet shorter. Sometimes you wish it was 10 feet longer.
That was her first spare on her fill ball. And victory for Briana with a 233. And Birgit just didn't strike enough in this game. And then when she got to the very end, when she needed a good shot, she ended up with a fatal open frame, a split in the 9th. And that'll put her in the 4th position. But still, someone else who's been bowling a lot and bowling very well is Birgit Norreich. So we'll be talking with her in a couple of moments after she finishes bowling.
Not quite sure if she made a ball change. I couldn't see it or not. But that ball is just, it's definitely a smoother reaction down the lane compared to the one or the reaction she had before.
Well, she already was a big winner this week in the Go Bowling Classic, her first individual PWBA title. She picked up her first title 4 years ago at the PWBA Striking Against Breast Cancer Mixed Doubles Tournament with Jason Sterner. So she winds up with a 194. So that's a great week for her. I mean, I know she's bummed that she didn't get the win, but when she settles down later, I would have to hope she's happy with the way the week turned out.
I believe so. I don't believe she made the cut at the second telecast, but she did cash. Obviously, some great success here in this last event. She's walking away, going, with the short break we have between now and next Thursday at Spokane, with a victory under her belt and a lot of confidence moving forward.
Well, we look forward to having a couple of words with her while we watch Verity Crawley get in some practice before she takes on Briana in the penultimate match before the winner takes on the 17-year-old Jillian Martin. It's an unbelievable story. Would be the youngest to win a PWBA event should she pull it off, and she only has to win one game. We have Birgit ready? I believe we do. There she is. Birgit, first off, congratulations on your week. When you leave here tonight, what are you going to remember most?
I'm sorry, I barely hear you.
Okay, let me try my microphone a little bit closer here.
That's better.
Is that better? I was going to ask, congratulations on your week. When you leave here tonight, what are you going to remember most?
I mean, if I leave tonight, I will remember that loss. But if I leave this town, I'm definitely going to try to remember my win. I mean,
how gratifying is it to get that win? You had the one win with Jason Sterner, but now you've got your own victory that you can add with, I'm sure, more to come.
yeah, I mean, I'm still really happy about it. Of course, if you, lace up your shoes, whatever, you want to win, then I don't know. I'm just kind of frustrated.
Oh, Birgit, you're doing great. I know you're exhausted. Just describe to the folks out there watching now on BowlTV, describe these last 2 days emotionally and physically. I've been trying to explain it, but in your own words, tell the viewers out there what these last 2 days have been like for you.
I mean, this entire week has been really tiring. Yesterday we got back to the hotel at like 11 almost. We got to sleep in a little today, but it's really tiring. I mean, first block I bowled okay. Second one was kind of not so great, but I bowled really good this morning. Got in here with a different game plan that worked really well. So, I mean, I guess there was some energy left in me.
That was good. What's that game plan? What changed so
I
drastically?
just really tried to stay a lot farther right because, like we were talking about yesterday night when we were putting those X's on the approach so we can keep counting to like 55 wherever we were sliding or like starting. I really didn't want to go there because I know I'm just really not good at doing that. So we shined a couple balls that allowed me to stay a lot farther right. That made me feel a lot more comfortable, make better shots, better execution, and that worked really well.
Well, I think you did a fabulous job. Case in point to you making the telecast here again tonight. Great bowling the last 8 days. You really proved, not only to yourself but everyone out there what a great competitor you are and a winner in the winner's circle. Looking forward, I can't wait to see you in Spokane and the U.S. Open. You're on such a high right now, and congratulations on a great week. Get some rest tonight. Go home and relax those few days.
Thank you so
And take some great memories away from the ITRC this week.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Birgit Norek's joining us here, and let's get off to Aaron Smith, who has a Brunswick ball giveaway. Aaron?
That's right, Dave. We have a Brunswick Melee Jab. Midnight Blue up for grabs. So similar to last time, you'll look for that prompt in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. And one lucky winner here on BowlTV is going to be taking home a bowling ball from Brunswick. So big thank you to Brunswick, one of our gold industry partners here on the PWBA Tour. So folks, let's go ahead and same like last time, when we get that first frame underway, we'll get the giveaway going as well. So look for that submit entry button. Good luck, and thank you again for being part of BowlTV. Dave, it's all yours.
All right, Aaron, thank you so very much. And Midnight Blue, excellent Foreigner song, by the way, if you all are familiar with Foreigner. Solid tune. So Verity Crawley steps in on the right-hand lane, the number 2 seed, 27 years old, her 4th season on tour, and this has been her breakout season without question. This will be her 6th stepladder appearance. She has a win in Nashville and could easily pull this off. She is at her peak. And right on cue.
She kicks it off with a strike. I can't say she's the only competitor here this week to make all 3 telecasts. As you said, Dave, she's just, I thought the match has already started. So she's starting over the last practice shot with a good shot. But the only one to make the all 3 telecasts. She's had a lot of success. She's obviously whatever her routine has been working for her, her mental game, knowing her equipment, her preparation. I'm sure we're going to see her again with the last 2 events coming up. I think by far she's the best executionist on tour right now. She can every shot from the back of the approach to the foul line, pristine, posting, leverage, balance. She's smart right now.
And sitting right behind her, that's Julia Bond. And Julia may not be the number 1 in the PWBA Player of the Year standings after this tournament. I'll explain. I think this shot counts.
And
man, don't you wish it didn't?
Yeah. 19 to about 8. Head pin off the sidewall, just not enough to come back and kick out the 10, leaving the 1 single pin spare. Every lady left one this week, multiple times. Not as often, but a lot.
I asked you about solid 9s and solid 8s. Again, it seems like I'm seeing more solid, or it seemed to be anyway, pocket 7-10s. Is what would be causing that problem?
7-10 split is most often a result of the ball slowing down too much and losing so much energy that the pins just do not have the energy to carry out the other pins along the way. 6 pin falls in front, 4 pin falls in front, and the 7-10 just stands there. So it's usually the ball rolling out and losing too much energy too early. It also could be often enough, this is true too, a bad rack. Head pin could be slightly off, 3 pin can be slightly off. So it could be from some off spot pins as well.
No, Briana comes out firing, and you saw the ball wipe the 9 out that time to eliminate that headache, and a beautiful shot for Briana.
She's able to stay further right than Verity. Verity's going to be much deeper. And Verity's bowled great. One thing I think she doesn't utilize enough, and this is a compliment, is she's so good playing left to right. She's so good playing deep, but she doesn't always want to get there. She likes staying on top of the lane condition and not having very, very steep angles. Well, you were forced to do that this week no matter what your game was. And it played an advantage to her style, and I think she needs to use it more often. That's got to push. Trips the 4.
Yep, just enough. And an opening double for Briana Cote.
Yeah, 14, slightly inside, right over that hash mark. Trips the 4 pin.
Verity, 4th at the Go Bowling Classic a few days ago. lost to Birgit Norrijks. Runner-up when Jen Higgins got her first PWBA victory at the International Bowling Campus Classic. There was also a regional here, Dallas-Fort Worth Regional. And, oof, boy, it was almost a disaster again for her, but she was able to get that 10-pin out of there.
She's sliding 28-29.
And that regional won by
Taylor Bailey.
Yep. Defeated Maria Bulanova by 22. So here's the deal with Verity. If she wins this tournament, she takes over for Julia Bond atop the points list as we started to wind down this season. If she finishes third, she'll gain a little bit. I mean, Julia's not bowling at the moment. And if she finishes second, she gets closer and closer and closer. But right now, she would need to go to the very top to be at the very top in the points race. No matter what, she leaves here having made a real run for the Player of the Year standings and will move into second place no matter what happens in this game. And if she goes on and loses the final, she's still going to be in second.
Yeah, and the standard events are single points, but when you get to the majors, they're more heavily weighted. They're double points, so anything can happen. I think there was one year maybe Shannon really kind of separated herself from the field when she was Player of the Year. The other year was still a close race towards the end, came at the Players' Championship. So with the U.S. Open being the final one for right now, and then we go into that Fall Classic Series, you think about it, Dave, there's still 5 full tournaments left. So anything can happen, and anything can happen with that elongated break from September towards the end of October when the women will meet up at the Fall Series Classic in Reno, Nevada.
Ooh, 3, 6, 7, 10 for Briana off of the double.
Yeah, same spot. You see the green thumb, how quickly it stands up and goes forward faster. It's a great indicator on the ball right there, too. 3, 6, 7, 10. So she's got to start. She's falling into that traffic zone now, as I said earlier, where Jordan was. Verity's already around 19-20. So as she continues to move in, she's going to find the ball still slowing down sooner. Difficult spare conversion right here. Must get the ball right of the 3-pin, just enough to touch it, to slide over and knock over the 7.
Nope, ended up hitting the 3 a little bit more directly than she probably wanted to. And by the way, just to finish off the points race, Shannon O'Keefe is 4th, Dasha Kovalova 3rd, and again, it'll either be Verity or Julia Bond in 2nd, depending on what happens.
Yeah, a long way to go. Just thinking about it out loud and saying out loud, David, it crossed my mind. Hey, we still have 5 events left to go. Normally we conclude at the end of August and then go into that Players' Championship around September in Virginia. But we still have that Fall Classic Series that the PWBA provided for us in Reno coming up in mid-October, towards the end of October.
Well, that's a pretty strike.
And Briana also wants to stay as far right as possible too. It's not in her comfort zone that she'd like to get further left. She was forced there and went there as Elaine told herself, "Hey, you got to play here. You can't force yourself here." And based on words we've heard before, you can't out execute ball reaction that isn't there. So you have to play what Elaine is telling you to play.
Only looking for a double. She opened with an open, an 8 spare and strike. Yep, mixer.
I tried doing that. It just didn't work.
This time, Kelly, as you said, there are 5 events left.
And I said, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be venting my frustration where my mental anguish came from all week long. But I watched so much good bowling. Like, I was cheering on the other women. I really enjoyed even my opponents when they made good shots and they left an 8-pin. Erin McCarthy, I saw her leave a few, and Birgit leave so many. I was impressed by the caliber of athletes bowling, and Jillian Martin especially making it look like a league shot when the rest of us were scratching our heads and other women along the way. So I applaud good bowling. I applaud technique, and all the women tonight in the show have both.
And Crawley, 3 in a row.
Her tempo is so good. Her swing is so good. Her release is beyond good. She's just, look at her knee bend at the foul line. She holds the balance so the ball hits the pins. She, that player of the year race is definitely going to come down to that last single event come October.
And work in the other finishers here on the top 24. There were some outstanding players who missed the cut for this event. I mean, this is a deep field, exclusive field for this event. And Briana Cote comes back, and she has doubled. So this match, pretty close.
Yeah, I think Briana Clemmer is head runner for Rookie of the Year honors right now, and she's been bowling great all year long and struggled a bit along the way. Liz Culkin along the way as well. As you said, some really great bowlers that you would typically see. Who knows?
Liz missed the cut. Just the list of missing the cut would make for a great show. I mean, Missy Parkin, Clara Guerrero, Shannon O'Keefe, Stephanie Johnson, Josie Barnes, Lee mentioned Liz. They all missed the cut. Finishing 6th, she's in the building there, Diana Zavialova. Erin McCarthy, what a story she is. There was one written about her job as a critical care nurse during the time of COVID. It was a great article about how happy she is to be back to bowling when she has the opportunity. And that's a quiet 10-pin.
Yeah, she made the comment. I asked her about being back here in January, some similarities to the competition and so forth. And I said, Erin, how was it? She goes, Kelly, I just wanted to get out of Nebraska. I had to get away with everything that was occurring with the pandemic and her job and the stress and tension along the way, trying to find some release, some way to get away from it for a bit. So she came here in January, bowled pretty good then, and then obviously having success here this week. She was also in contention for the show, just missing out along the way, a little bit behind, but made a good run at it.
Yeah, she was 7th. We'll get you some more names here in a moment. Should hopefully have a routine cover, and we do. 8th place went to Maisaki Mukotani. Valerie Bercier was 9th. Sydney Brumette, number 10. Daria Payok, 11. Jen Higgins, 12. And Jen did win a title over the week. Ashley Rucker, 13th. Liz Johnson, 14th. Kelly Kulik in the 15th spot ahead of Danielle McEwen. Lauren Pate was 17th. And then 20 through 24, I've got Rocio Restrepo, Julia Bond, Stephanie Zavala, Tanya Ramapour, who bowled beautifully in Houston, and Giselle Paz.
Long and late, light 2-pin. Verity's just basically fought her reaction a little bit. She accelerated at the bottom of the swing. She's able, with her rotation off her hand, and her thumb kind of drops down into the release, which I noticed too. So it creates more of a, not spinning type motion, but more tilt through the front. So the ball doesn't read it as much as the other ball rolls do on tour. So she gets free push, free motion down the lane, but leaves the single pin spare here.
Straight at it, and only 5 pins separate these competitors, with Crawley having the advantage. This is the third of our stepladder final matches. One remaining, number 1 seed from 17-year-old Jillian Martin, a non-member on the PWBA tour, but certainly not a novice bowler. And we'll talk more about her story when she arrives. She will await the winner of this.
Watch Verity's tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 19 at the arrows, 8 at the break point, and rolls the pin from the side to take out that 9 pin.
You don't see that roller. There it comes in at the end there to rescue her from a very unfair leave.
It's Diana's mother, I believe, in the background, too. She came all the way over to visit. Some fans along the way.
So Briana needs a strike to hang in.
Oh,
Well,
I think she liked it off
that's
her
the
hand,
second
too.
time we've seen that leave. Yep. That hurts in so many ways. It hurts the score with the count, and obviously now with Crawley. Once again, Kelly, it's timing. Verity has an open frame in the first, but has been nice and clean since then. Has had 4 strikes in subsequent frames, and now all of a sudden late, Briana gets smacked with this.
Yeah. She gets 4 of it, though.
Wow. Man, that's a heavy punishment she has to pay.
Somebody in the audience, too. I'm just trying to find their names as I search a little bit. Past junior gold champion also back there. Bowls a lot of the SYC events. Julia and Stephanie Zavala back there look as tired as the bowlers too right now.
Yes, they do. I saw Stephanie there for a second. I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, it's understandable. There you go.
Great shot.
No, had to have it too.
Yep.
Well, it seems like so far, Kelly, this is our 3rd match. Something dramatic and in every case unfortunate has happened to somebody late in a match that's cost them.
Yeah, that was typical every game. It was having a clean game was successful. It was really key. I think some matches were won 195, 2-0, 2-10 because you basically stayed clean. You made something that was sparable to make along the way. Or because trying to find a 3-bagger or 4-bagger to make up for 2 splits in a row was almost nearly impossible.
Oh, man, that was a pretty shot and an unfortunate, well, could have been worse, I suppose, but this is a gorgeous-looking shot.
32-33, she's getting close to that left gutter. So there's that steepness I was chatting about earlier. Yeah, no indication.
So not a warning, not a, hey, Kelly, we're letting you to make a change. It's just
there was no signal when the ball made a left turn. Just like I see people at a stoplight. There was just no signal. There really wasn't. You would throw 3 shots in a row. What I really felt and observed from the other athletes is that you'd get through 4 frames, 5 frames, and if you were monitoring their foot where they were standing on the approach, all of a sudden, hey, she went 2 more left. She went 3 more left. So based on, you weren't just watching ball reaction, you were watching where they were standing, how much they were moving. There was some communication. I have the right lane tighter, I have the left lane hooking. The tour reps were charting the lanes, meaning who started on what pair, where they were going through at the arrows, and where the ball was picking up at the break point. That's how in-depth it was. I know bowling is often compared to golf, but it's like that caddy just looking at the hole, how many yards, how did the green slope one way or another. And Verity right there, you can see she's getting a little bit deeper. The ball's getting right faster. And because of that, it's shaping. Because it's going right faster, it's crossing all of that friction, causing it to shape and slow down more like a big S on a ski slope compared to a tighter one. So that's how the ball is shaping down the lane. She maximizes herself with a strike there. She can shoot potentially 228. Briana can shoot 217 if she strikes out. So Verity's still in a good lead with a few frames left. Oh, almost leaves
well,
the
she
410.
tripped the 4. Yeah. Well, I thought it was good news when she tripped the 4, and that's actually where my eyes went. And then all of a sudden I looked and saw the 10 was still around. So Briana with 2 opens. And the second one, extraordinarily costly. The time, the Greek church.
Makes the 10 pin. I see another celebrity in the background, Brandon McDonough. He's been a winner at the SYC events. Also, Junior Gold has a lot of success. The long red hair in the back. Yep. And you'll see him off to behind the even lane some more. All right, so max score for Briana, 197. So if Verity goes 9 spare, actually, you see 97, 68, 178, she'll just need a mark in the 10th.
And that's if Briana comes up big in the 10th. So we'll see. She but hasn't been able to match that.
Oh. Oh. Dave, watch this shot. Look at there. 15, she moves into the arrows. Gets a 10-11, a little high shot. The 3 pin comes off the side instead of going into the 6 pin for the 6 pin to get out the 10, and just leaves the standing 10 alone. So Verity will just need some good count here in the 10th frame, and she will go on to that championship match to face Jillian Martin.
Yeah, the best Briana can do now is 186.
Verity just needs to stay behind the foul line and keep it on the lane. This is what I like. Even though she's lost the match, she's making a ball change just to see what it would do. See, there's that no-quit mentality.
And she found out she was wise not using that ball any earlier. So Briana Cote will take a 3rd place in this event. And that sets us up for Verity Crawley and Jillian Martin for the championship of the BowlTV Classic here on BowlTV from the International Training and Research Center in Arlington, Texas. And following our interview with Briana, we're going to have another ball to give away, this one for Roto Grip.
I need to get part of these telecasts, Aaron. I need free bowling balls along the way.
Listen, tell me about it.
Just one of the perks of being a BowlTV member, that's all.
Yep, a lot of good giveaways, a lot of good perks to being a member here for BowlTV.
All right, making it official.
.208, possibly 182. So again, the scores are starting to come down a little bit.
Well, you called that, and that's what the Jillian Martin will be stepping into, is after having 3 games go by, changing conditions, lower scores. But it seems like nothing's bothered her leading into this final with an unbelievable match play record. So Jillian will get a chance to warm up, and Verity will have a chance at another title this year. She won at the Greater Nashville Open. She's had 3/4, a runner-up at the IBC Classic, and now she's in a position to pick up her 2nd career win. And I understand Briana's already ready to join us here on BowlTV, so we really appreciate her taking a few moments. Briana, first off, congratulations on finishing off your week this way. I know you wanted more, obviously. How would you characterize the conditions that you bowled under and what these two are going to be facing in the next match?
The lanes definitely play different pretty much every time we bowled on them each match play round, and I think they're transitioning a little faster tonight. I was trying to keep up with the right lane, and I just couldn't. And it also made for difficulty making some good shots. So I did the best I could to be on top of the moves. It seemed like I was either going to have a strike or a circle up there, a bunch of X's and O's. But I can't complain. To get to this position was a miracle in my own right when I showed a big last game position round. So I'm just happy for a third place finish.
I can't say it was a miracle, Briana. I mean, 268 on a pattern that, very 230 was a great game on this. What is it about this building at the ITRC? You've had success here back in January, obviously. Do you see the lanes? You feel like you see what they do clearer, faster, or is it just being in this building up your confidence because you've won here in the past?
Definitely coming back to a building that I've won is a boost of confidence. I'm comfortable here, being able to come back to a place for Team USA training and stuff. I'm familiar with the building. We bowled on these pairs a lot for training camp, and it's like a second home. So I'm just comfortable here, and my ball likes it here. So if it's gonna strike, I'm gonna just follow it.
Any changes, any preparation going into the last 2 weeks? We have Spokane and the U.S. Open coming up, and then the Fall Classic Series in mid-October. Any preparation you're going to do with this week off before you head up to the Northwest?
I'm not going to do too much as far as preparation. I'm going to go hang out with some youth kids in Minnesota this weekend and be at a youth event. So I'm excited to help out there. Maybe just stay on top of my spare game, make sure my body's rested as much as possible, because Spokane and the U.S. Open is gonna be a quick turnaround in a lot of games.
One more quick question and a fun fact. Give an idea to the audience. How many bowling balls did you have in the locker room this week that you deciphered through before you decided which were going to be transported and which were going home, just to give them an idea?
I had 23 bowling balls.
23 bowling balls.
Yes, Danielle McEwen and I were having a battle, and we actually lost to Maria Jose Rodriguez.
Okay, so the viewers out there know it says you're battling 3 different conditions. You have to drill different bowling balls to do different things.
Correct. Yes.
Maria came up with a high number, and you and Danielle were a close second. So
we tried.
Yeah, but I don't see them finishing third in this event, so you get the last laugh ultimately.
I appreciate that.
Well, thank you. Congratulations on your week, and look forward to seeing you later in the year.
Thank you.
Briana Cote finishing third here at the BowlTV Classic. You're watching the warm-up session right now with Verity, Crawley, and Jillian Martin. And Kelly, Jillian Martin in a position now to make history. But before we talk more about that, Aaron Smith is ready to make somebody very happy with a Roto-Grip bowling ball.
That's right, Dave. Our final giveaway of the day is going to be a Roto-Grip bowling ball of your choice. One lucky viewer is going to be taking that home. Big thank you to Roto-Grip, one of our gold industry partners here for the PWBA Tour. So best of luck, everybody. Just like the previous times, we're going to go ahead with the very first shot. We'll get that underway. Wait for that submit entry button. Good luck, everybody, and thank you again for being part of the BowlTV community. Dave,
and Aaron, thank you very much. And so we're not going to jump the gun. That was a practice shot this time because Tennille is still speaking. So Jillian Martin, 17 years old, from Stowe, Ohio. And should she defeat Verity Crawley, Jillian will be the youngest to win a PWBA Tour event. She's 17 years old. The great Wendy McPherson holds the mark at 18 years old back in 1986 at the U.S. Women's Open, which is an unbelievable tournament to win at any age, but especially when you're 18 years old. And, Kelly, Jillian's been okay in this building. You talked about Briana's success here. In January at the ITRC PWBA Kickoff Classic Series, she was 8th, 2nd, and 3rd. So this is a building where she too feels comfortable.
I think because of her youthfulness and bowling against youth bowlers, coming here bowling against the professionals and top elite amateurs, there's no expectations, there's no inhibitions. She's just going out there and doing what she does. Just engulfing herself in bowling, in practicing, and seeing what's out there. She's had so much experience between junior gold, SYCs, and other youth events bowling on sport conditions and sport patterns. She is far ahead of so many other youth ladies at her age. So it just gives her an advantage. And coming here bowling on these demanding conditions, she's probably had more experience than some of the women who've been out here for a couple of years. That's how good she is.
Well, it's starting to notice this, Kelly, and I know you're involved in all facets of the sport. it seems to me that the younger bowlers today, we just had on the PBA, a 16-year-old make a televised final in Jonesboro, Arkansas, just a few days ago, Eric Jones. Here's somebody who's 17. It seems like we're starting to see more and more of these teenagers going toe-to-toe with the pros and winning.
Yes. And saying it before, again, crediting it to the amount of coaching they've had. Now they actually have personal coaches that travel with them. Will Clark is here traveling with her from stop to stop and coaching her along the way. Their privatized lessons with the coaches, their YouTube videos of the best professionals on tour. There's books, there's documentaries that they can acknowledge and store within their memory of how to be a great bowler. Long before someone of my generation, of Liz Johnson's, of Amaletta Monticello, where you learned by doing, you learned by a few coaches along the way. There was no such thing as Google or YouTube television, and you went by feel alone. So they're just learning at such a faster pace than what previous generations have done along the way.
And also the college ranks is something else, too. You're seeing so many stars playing somewhere in college. McKendree, Wichita State, UMass St. Joe's, Vanderbilt, and we can go Nebraska. We can go on and on about the great college bowling programs as well, and the fact that many times you have former players or even current players, like Ozzie Barnes, who works at Vanderbilt. Shannon O'Keefe, coach at McKendree, just an example of the quality of the coaching that's available now to these college athletes who bowl.
And USPC came out with their coaching program, decades ago with the bronze, silver, and gold, and certifying more coaches around the nation and around the globe internationally. How many junior coaches we have that are affiliated with USPC? So the credentials are there, the people are there, the tools and education are anywhere now based on what happened with this pandemic and Zoom, and not to take too far away here, but, look at Verity right there, just making 2 great shots off the back too. She's another one from Weber, college bowling, amateur events, and then professionally. So it took her a couple of years. It's not just not early success like Jillian's having right now, but again, you have to learn by doing. You can't learn how to do it out of a book. You have to experience it live.
And she gets on the board with a strike after opening 9 spare. Verity with a double. Jillian's dad is here, and he is sitting next to Rocio Restrepo. He's got an LA Dodgers shirt on, so our cameras will find him. He'll be in and out of the frame from time to time. Plus the coach, you see right there, the man with the arms folded and the lanyard and credentialed.
Yeah, and Jillian, she has something that nobody else has out here.
Yep.
She's got a high rev rate, and she's got forward roll. So her ball sees the front of the lane, the mid lane, and the back lane as a clear picture, as crystal as it can be.
She's into that shot. She liked it. Yes, she loved that shot.
It brings an energy to this tour. 21-22 at the arrows, 9 at the break point. The pins go sideways, the pins go back in the pit. They go everywhere, as explosive as they are. She's 17 years old. She's in stature, she's medium size and everything, but she generates so much speed with her footwork and her leverage at the foul line. And off her hand, she's got that little kind of Spider-Man yo-yo release where she let the elbow bend slightly and just gets it off her thumb and through the fingers. She's got a fantastic release, great approach. And just as Verity does too. They all have rhythm. They all have tempo.
And Verity's got a problem with that 1-2-4-10. Her first real miss, it looks like she's had, although her first shot in her last game was an open frame.
Yeah, this one, 21-22, not as far right down the lane. If you could see from the different angle, it was on the inside of the indicator at that 43 foot mark and more going towards the 3-pin, 6-pin. So it hit a slick of oil there, and that's why we leave the washout.
By the way, Will Clark, the man standing up just off Bertie's left shoulder, now also coaches Julia Bond. She's going to go for this and just miss that 10-pin.
He has a large clientele of bowlers that he works with across the country.
Well, he's going to get more clients if they watch BowlTV and see who he has and how many wins these women have picked up this year. And again, Verity would pass Julia Bond for the Player of the Year race, still with 5 events to go, of course. But just a monumental week for Verity. She's made the finals in events that she was able to bowl in. She was not in the regional.
That's trouble
Oh my
right
goodness.
there. Yep. Watch, sliding about 30. That one 19 at the hours. Now she gets it down the lane to the right faster. And the ball is not responsive enough. So in 2 frames,
Would
washed
that
out,
be-
super washed out. That's a ball change.
Yeah, that's what I was cue. If it's time
Yep.
to make an equipment change.
Yeah, that is something.
What kind of ball does she need here?
Something stronger, an asymmetric bowling ball. Something that shapes quicker in the mid lane. Or I should say, using that terminology, that slows down sooner. So she's going to talk to the ball reps right now because I thought both shots were different. One was more inward, more direct. The other one was out and around it.
How funny,
Maybe
she
think
wouldn't
about
just
it.
sat down. Yeah, she just took a seat. And interesting to see what she does equipment-wise when she comes back up for a 5th frame, back-to-back opens, and both times missing the head pin with her first shot. That's 3 in a row for Jillian Martin, who senses an opportunity and is grabbing it.
I watched her do it all day. The last 2 days, she just phenomenal bowler. See, the ball is more forward off her hand. So again, the picture, it's a more rounded shape. It's smoother. She just does something that she has more of a gentleman's type of role with her release. It's more like a Simonson roll, even though she's not a 2-handed bowler and her rev rate
Right.
isn't as high, but close to it. But it's like that Anthony Simonson roll or Jason Belmonte. Kyle should pick some of your heavy 2-handed bowlers that have that more forward roll.
Well, even with that, she did go a little bit through the face. She won this number 1 seed by 205 pins over Verity, who was the number 2 seed, led the field in average. And this just blew me away when I saw this. Her match play record was 20 wins and 4 defeats.
Yep. Pretty remarkable, right, Dave?
I don't care if you're 77, whatever age you are, it doesn't matter. I mean, particularly when you look, if you heard some of the names of those you've been watching of the people that she had to bowl against, Hall of Famers, dominant bowlers, and she scored 20 wins in 24 games. That's incredible. Bit dramatic there.
Well, and what it's fascinating too. She never uses a plastic ball. Watched her all week long. She was on my squad. She never uses a plastic ball. So as good as she is with her release and hitting up on it to get the rotation off her hand, she's just as good as going the opposite direction and taking down to 0 rotation and going straight at her spare, similar to that Norm Duke or Shannon Plahowski does it too on the left side. Here's a ball change.
You called that. Oh, come on. All right.
She knows it too. She went to a stronger asymmetric bowling ball. See, the ball just picks up a little bit sooner. 6 pin again. Falls in front of the 10. 7-10 stands. Catches the roll to leave only the single pin spare. She knows she's behind, but she made the correct move.
Well, we've seen more of that white spare ball than she would like us to see.
It just came out not too long ago, and she posted on Facebook, like, my new spare ball. She's so excited.
It looks like a pearl going down there, doesn't it?
It's very pretty.
Yeah.
Very, very pretty white mix. Yep. There were the Cobra X, I believe, was back in the 80s or 90s, was another popular white bowling ball. I just want the one that strikes.
Yes. Yeah. It's better off when you're throwing 1 per frame, not 2.
Yep, give me the one that knocks down all 10. All right, Very looking to get back on board here. Needs to get back in the match with an X on the board.
And she's back 32 behind.
Good shot.
Yeah, that's the best she could have hoped for right there.
And Dave, I'm not sure of the other shows you watched too, but that she made a ball change against Birgit and she went weaker instead of stronger. And I think that was detrimental to her not continuing on throughout the match. Same thing in the last telecast. She struggled a little bit with some reaction along the way. So she's on the cusp. She's there to having multiple titles already this year. It's just clarity of it and getting there faster. And Jillian, quick setup, quick go, quick let it go.
And a big tap on the 10 for an important strike to maintain that big lead.
Great physical game. When you watch from front to back with the great angle camera that we have, you'll see her arm swing and the ball drops straight into the swing. Straight back, straight forward. Her hand is behind it the entire time. Her left arm comes in front, which means her hips have to open and the shoulder is forward. She then keeps the hips open and she drives off that power step to slide as long as she does. Trail leg tucks in underneath and the hand drops directly underneath her shoulder into the slot, creating maximum amount of rotation.
And a hop, skip, and a jump for a big, big double for Jillian Martin.
Yeah. Go back to the beginning of the show, Dave. I said, where do the ladies have to miss? Where they can't miss one way, they can only miss which way. They have to be able to miss to the right. And Jillian is just throwing it as if there's a trough of friction down there saying, hey, hit me, and the ball is going to go back to the pocket and strike. And I watched her do it for the last 7-8 days alone.
So Verity Crawley in some deep trouble right here. Partly of her own doing. A lot of it has to do with her opponent. And she flushes another one. Yep.
Catches a double. Great shot. You see she's deeper, 22, still going to about 9-10. 6-pin really has enough energy now to kick out the 10-pin that way. Working on a double, looking for 3 in a row up here in the 8th frame to get her just to be down by 5. By 2, 17. I'm in my small screen right now, so that's why I just got to catch up a little bit there. As you said, 30-something.
32, if I'm to be believed, which you all do at your own risk.
My viewers, I got multiple screens, so I'm trying to keep track of it all. Oh, the 10-pin wiggles. There she is, 22, 8-9, just a little slow and lazy. Boy, the great camera action here right now to see in slow motion and just watch the 6-pin just fall in front. It's that lazy 6, that flat 10. Rocio Restrepo sitting back there as well. She made 2 cuts this week.
Well, Dad there in the blue T-shirt with the shorts is looking casual. That is Jillian's dad. But I'm a sports dad myself, and I know what that heart rate is right now.
Dave, he had the binoculars going, so don't let that comfort zone in the chair sit there. He was behind near the desk by lanes 1 and 2, and I saw him with this scope. He knew everybody's score along the way. He's just been so supportive of her, so supportive of the other women bowling, cheering us on as we walk through the door each morning. So, but don't let his casualness fool you.
He's hiding it, believe me.
Yeah, as any parent would be. He's throwing every shot with her right now.
Well, she doesn't need the help. She's closing in on making PWBA history.
Well, let's just say I don't think she can cash in any more events because she's cashed in so many based on the rules of the PWBA organization. I think she has eligibility to go to the U.S. Open. I'm not quite sure. I think we'll see her there, but don't count her out. We'll be seeing a lot of her along the way, and a commanding lead right now, 177. She can shoot 267. Verity can only shoot 211. So a strike right here pretty much seizes everything up, and it would be.
We don't know about what she wants to do collegiately. Either she's not telling or nobody knows the answer to that yet. But, man, somebody will be thrilled to have her on their team.
Isn't the answer at this age is to go to Disney World?
You're right. You know what? We'll ask her that maybe, although be careful. You got to start putting masks back on around there these days. So you might want to wait till things slow down a little bit.
See, there's that lazy 10-pin. The 6-pin falls in front, and as much energy and velocity as she creates with the pins, just not enough to knock it over.
You just won the BowlTV Classic. I'm going to the U.S. Open.
and then Disney World.
Yeah. First things first.
Oh, she's won it, Dave. She's won it. Stays clean here. It was all drop. It was just jaw dropping to watch. She is done. This is history right here. Wendy McPherson, I'm sorry, ma'am. You have gotten knocked off the list by Jillian Martin at the age of 17. I have to applaud. Great bowling. She bowled phenomenal all week long, as well as Verity Crawley making all 3 telecasts. Let's not forget that all 3 telecasts here this week at the International Training and Research Center. She's walking away maybe with not an extra title under her belt, but as you said, leader for the Player of the Year. Long way
She's
to go.
second now.
Second.
Yeah, Julia is still ahead, but Verity's made a big move. The only way she could have gone ahead of Julia was to win this, which is not going to happen. But still, she is sitting in a position where Julia Bond, who we just saw was in your frame, in our frame certainly, a great week for Verity. 4th place at the Go Bowling Classic, now back-to-back second-place finishes at the IBC Classic and here at the BowlTV Classic. So she has arrived.
Well, I'm glad she's only 17, Dave, because I'm not ready to bowl against her every week. I'm thinking to myself, wow, this phenom of a bowler and person that she is. And don't forget, you said this coming Saturday, she's going to be a Fox with Friends for National Bowling Day this coming Saturday. So look for her to be on that telecast. I gave her some heads up. I believe the Las Piñas put out the lane there with the outdoors, so to bring some extra soles and heels along the way. But what a way to represent bowling coming off a victory, and what a great interview that will be on National Bowling Day this coming Saturday at Fox and Friends.
And she'll give them something to talk about, too, because she's going to walk in there as a champion on the PWBA Tour. And as Kelly mentioned, a record-setting champion as the youngest to win an event on the PWBA, passing the great Wendy McPherson. What a name to pass, too, as far as in the history of this sport. And to do it at 17 years old, and to have, to be honest, dominated this particular event.
She did. And Wendy, don't forget, she did win the U.S. Open at 18. So please, let's keep that notch in that belt there,
That's
as
true.
Prestigious as it is. But Verity Crawley, looking to strike out for 188. I said the scores were typically going to be, on the lower side, except for Jillian. 20-4 match play record. Dave, you said it so yourself. We witnessed it. We watched it. I watched her strike a lot. And when she missed, she was still getting 9. Some off-hit leaves, some splits along the way. But she was the most clean throughout the last 2 days, the 24 games of match play. She doesn't have many friends out here because she's so young. So she just stayed within her bubble with her coaches and her father, was a good thing and everything. No expectations coming in and so forth, just a great mindset. And what a talented young lady she is. Any college, as you said, Dave, who gets her, I'm fearful of what she's going to bring to the table. Her leadership, obviously, the success she's had these last few years, dominating the youth events, and everybody on her team is just going to look up to her and to watch her carry the way. But again, just watch her physical game, her hand in a release, and why she bowls so well. She just rolls it so forward. 2-8-10 there, of course, when I say it, but she had it locked up.
She's got it locked up. She can relax, but what a gratifying moment this has to be for her, for her dad, her coach, all of her friends, all of her family, to have this opportunity either to see it in person or to see it on BowlTV, to defeat a rising star, if not already a star, in Verity Crawley, and to beat some of the finest bowlers, not just currently, but of all time in the PWBA, and to walk out of this building with the trophy as the BowlTV champion for 2021. Your winner, and a convincing one at that, Jillian Martin.
When I come back,
You know what? She knows how to get the trophy quickly, doesn't she? She must have studied you, Kelly.
Some of the greats for sure, but I think Dad's going to have instead of a man cave, he's going to have a trophy room for his daughter.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. And you know what? That won't take him about 2 seconds to plan. While we look at Jillian, we have Verity Crawley standing by to talk to us. Just had an unbelievable week in Arlington. And Verity, first off, congratulations on your week. I mean, you have a lot to be proud of. What was the difference between the two games you bowled, the one you won and then this one?
I hit the pocket a lot more on the one I won. The way that I needed to create angle on the lane, I did a much better job in the first game than I did in the second game. I changed ball halfway through that second game. And again, I couldn't quite get the angle right until right at the end when it was already over.
That was the case all weekend, or the last 2 days, Verity, right? You make a ball change and then the angles get steeper. Some places the lanes got tighter. There was a frustration it's always trying to find the right picture, correct?
That's the thing. And I mean, it was all about being really steep through the front part of the lane, which is something that I very much enjoy doing, but it's still difficult to do. And obviously Jillian was further left than me. And that was something I was very aware of. And I felt like I was being forced left with her, which was fine. I needed to keep my eyes further right. And off my hand, they just weren't as good as they were in the first game.
What do you take out of this week? You made every telecast, and although you don't take out a trophy this time, but you've had a breakout year. I know how hard you've worked. I follow you on social media. I see all the photos of you in the gym. I see all the photos of what you were doing in England during the pandemic and the times that you were over there, and you weren't even sure you could get to the United States to bowl at one time. How you look at your season so far?
It's been phenomenal. I mean, again, it was so emotional because obviously at the beginning of the year, I didn't know that I would be here. So to be able to actually be here and be out competing against the best ladies in the world, it's such a nice feeling. That's helped me bowl so good because I'm genuinely just happy to be here. And, sometimes we kind of take for granted things. And I feel like this year I haven't been doing that. I've been so happy to be here competing, and it makes a difference when you really enjoy what you do.
I've said this, and I'm going to tell you personally, I think you're the best executioner on tour right now. Physically, you look so sound from back to front, from the back of the approach to the foul line. You're seeing things more clearly than you ever have before. The break was a good thing, and your appreciation for that time off and being out here and having the tour to bowl on is definitely emphasized in your skill and what you're showcasing right now. So I guess it's just a compliment to you. But I also know, we see the gym posts, like Dave said, along the way. Just give the viewers back home. I mean, you travel with your little case of food. You're constantly worrying about nutrition and keeping your energy level up. Just describe to the audience watching right now some of your snacks, some of your regimen along the way that's helping you being so successful this year.
I mean, we bowl a lot of games. I mean, I think about what I have bowled this week alone. Obviously, I bowled more games than anybody. And I feel like if I wasn't physically fit, there is no way I would be able to do that. For one, we don't get to sleep a whole lot. So I have to ensure that I'm fueling my body with the right nutrients. And a lot of people don't like to bowl when they eat. I'm the complete opposite. And I think sometimes because I get a little bit anxious, I actually almost like to eat to take my mind off things. So it's just small snacks along the way. I might only have a few snacks with me, but they last me for a long period. So, this week I literally had anything from yogurt to salad to carrots, rice cakes, almond butter, just little bits of protein. And it really depends on our squad and what we're doing. Obviously, yesterday we bowled 16 games in one day. So we have lunch and that's it. So it's just figuring out when to eat to ensure that I'm going to be able to still peak physically. And when I'm in game 16, I don't want to be falling asleep on the approach. So what can I do to ensure that I'm awake? And same thing physically, my body felt fantastic this week. And I don't think I would have said that 2 years ago because I wasn't as physically fit. And I think I would have been physically exhausted as well as mentally exhausted.
Well, I sure do appreciate that. Just giving the fans the insight. I want to know your favorite snack next time I'm next to you. But, Verity, I applaud you. Great job this last 8 days. And, I was in awe watching you, and I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're very happy for you. Congratulations and continued success. And we'll undoubtedly see you again on TV, Verity. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks to all the fans at home for watching as well. It's been a great week.
I see Aaron Smith. Aaron, what can we do for you, sir?
I'm just hanging out enjoying the interviews. That's all I'm doing right now. So,
chime in anytime, Aaron. Chime in anytime.
You guys have had an excellent show so far, and cheers, Kelly. And we're going to have Jillian Martin joining us here in just a moment as well. So it looks like she's actually got the headset on. So without any further ado, let's meet our history maker here tonight, Jillian
Yeah,
Martin.
let's do that. Yeah, out of Stowe, Ohio. Jillian, welcome. Congratulations. First off, how long do you think this is all going to take before it sinks in?
Honestly, I have no idea. I mean, it's just so amazing to go out there and bowl against the best ladies in the world. And just to be able to do what I did, I feel like I made pretty good shots that whole game with the exclusion of the 10th frame because I was just a little excited and happy and all that good stuff. But it's awesome.
Jillian, 17 years old. I watched you strike a lot. It was just, I was in awe. I was impressed. I was overwhelmed with your skill and ability. You know, just what do you think has helped you the most to not only win your first professional title, but just to be a winner out here against the best? What describe to us, you know, is it your coaching? Is it your time on the practice on the lanes, or is it the support from your dad, or all the above?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously my parents have been such a fundamental role in this. And then I spend a lot of time practicing, and that has been absolutely huge. Just practicing with the purpose, making sure that I just put all my effort into my practices so that when I come out here, I can just be ready to go. And of course, too, they have so many great youth tours out there, like the SYCs, the EYTs in Illinois, the JTBAs in Ohio, and all that good stuff. And I think it really just helps me be fully prepared to come out here against the best, even though it's kind of two different levels. And then also, obviously, my awesome friends at Storm and I Am Bowling, they have given me all the resources I need to compete out here, and it's been so awesome, and I'm so grateful for them.
Yeah, I have to agree. Your opportunities to bowl as a youthful young lady far exceeded, you know, the last 10, 20, 30 years, especially. So your amount of knowledge, your amount of experience is above and beyond, you know, someone of a caliber of a 25-year-old or maybe even a 30-year-old. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it. And it was impressive to watch you. It was impressive to see your attitude and your composure, most of all, how you just stayed within yourself and you didn't let anything get to you along the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, how do you do that? How do you, because we all talk a lot about the physical game while we were watching you bowl, but what about your mental approach? How did you develop that? And I'm sure it's something that's still developing, but how do you go about that?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously it is still developing, and there's been a lot of ups and downs along the way, just trying to figure out what works for me. But I think my main mindset just coming into all 3 tournaments here at the Summer Classic Series was just, I want to go out there and have fun, because at the end of the day, this is long term. I want to make sure I'm having fun every time I step foot on the lanes, and I feel like that's just kind of what I did out there.
What about your short-term plans? You have another year of high school?
I do have another year of high school, so I'll be a senior this year, and I'm not sure where I'm going to go to college yet, but I'm hoping to commit in mid-November.
I'm sure you'll get a few brochures in the mail real soon if you haven't already. So we look forward to hearing about that decision. And again, congratulations on setting a mark for the PWBA that may not be broken for a long, long time. And all of our congratulations to you, to your dad. I know that had to be cool to have him there, and we just really enjoyed watching you tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Jillian.
Yeah, the PWBA's newest winner there, Aaron, Jillian Martin, 17 years old, a worthy winner. And I just go back, Kelly, to the grind of match play. Just announcing it, I get tired. You're bowling it, and she takes 24 games and wins 20 of them. When I just could not believe that as a stat, and then she just comes in and acts like there was no big deal and wins her game.
Yeah, you know, Dave, when we see all these different varieties of patterns, the length, the volume, and so forth, there's always going to be that one bowler that's going to be the outlier, someone that separates himself from the field because they match up physically, naturally to the pattern itself. And Jillian had that slight advantage along the way. Not only did she have that slight advantage there, but then she can execute. She made the right ball changes. She's got the right people behind her supporting her along the way. So everything is it's not spoon fed to her. It's just being provided to her and putting her in the right direction of where she needs to go forward and so forth. So for that, I mean, Verity, like I said, she's the best executioner on tour right now, and she ran into a little trouble when the lane started to change. She said Jillian was further inside of her, just same as Jordan was a Briana and Birgit. That's why that traffic get there. And again, you can't afford to miss. And Jillian only missed once. It was the 10th frame already when she won. But out here against the best of the best, you can't really afford to do it. And on a harder pattern, it's even more challenging that if you do that, you get 9. So she naturally matched up. No expectations. Her mind was in a different place, maybe because she's not a professional. She's only an amateur. And having all those pluses on your side, really starts to teeter that scale where she's up here where the other bowlers are still trying to catch up. And it was a masterpiece. She made it look like a challenge condition where some of the other, like myself and other, we made it look so much harder.
Well,
True.
you know, the advantage of youth, I guess, is part of
Yeah.
it, but her physical game is something else to see, Aaron. And we were here. Kelly and I are really thrilled. Great to see Kelly again, and to you all again. Look forward to seeing you again as the year goes on. But this was an historic evening, and you think about what the last few days have been like. We talk about a future for the sport. Well, we had a 16-year-old and a PBA stepladder final, a 17-year-old dominating match play, dominating the tournament, and winning the championship. So future for the sport does look to be a very proper and a very bright slogan.
Yeah, she's going to have some green jackets. She's going to have some tiaras along her way. You know, she's going to, when it is her time to come out of college and bowl on the ladies tour and be the future of that tour itself, she's going to be in the winner's circle a lot. I was going to ask her what her 10-year plan was, Dave, and looking ahead, Rookie of the Year, you know, Player of the Year, Hall of Famer along the way. You know, you think about what her next 10, 15, 20, 30 years look like, and you're going to see her be a representative of Team USA and this great organization, USBC and BPA. The bowling on Saturday for, you know, National Bowling Day. You're going to hear Jillian Martin a lot.
All right, Aaron, that'll wrap it up for Kel and I. And again, thank you for having me. And what a night this was. This was a wonderful evening and some terrific bowling and an incredible young champion.
Absolutely, Dave. And a big thank you to you and Kelly for bringing us the action, calling this historic moment. So thank you for being a part of it here on BowlTV. So we'll let you both go for right now, but thank you again for joining us here as we sign off from the PWBA BowlTV Classic. A big thank you to USBC, BPWA, and their board of directors for their continued support of the PWBA Tour. Of course, Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider for our PWBA Tour athletes as well. Kelly, thank you for putting on a fantastic show throughout the course of the Summer Classic Series. Super fun to watch. And, you know, we've really enjoyed being able to bring this action to you. And a big thank you to everybody watching right now, the BowlTV community. We really enjoy showcasing the best in the world. And what a week we had here at the ITRC. So a big thank you to you as well. The ITRC staff, Nick and Lou, for everything they do. The PWBA Tour staff, Tennille and Cecil, helping out this week as well. And the IBC staff also volunteering their time to help out this week. So a big thank you to the entire campus here in Arlington. So with that, the BowlTV crew, of course, Jason Thomas, Matt Cannizzaro, Curtis Von Kruger. I'm Aaron Smith for our commentators today, Dave Lamont, the Hall of Famer Kelly Kulick. We'll see you soon. And remember, folks, on BowlTV, bowling lives here.